Hey guys, what's going on? This is Travis P11. Thanks for tuning in. I just want to say first and foremost that this video would not be possible if it were not for the generosity of Stan, the owner of SS Pawn. Stan is loaning me firearms from his personal collection to test out on the channel and run some comparisons with other firearms in my collection and do some basic tabletop reviews. So check out SS Pawn. They're right off Interstate 80 in Lexington, Nebraska. Give Stan a call. He will take care of all of your firearms needs. So here we go, guys. We are back to the basics, all right? We've got a dispute or a debate that we're going to be firing up that goes back as far as the Hatfields versus the McCoys, Barcelona versus Real Madrid, and, well, that's about all I can think of. So here we go. We've got the M&P 9mm and the Glock 17. This is probably going to fire up some interesting discussion and debates in the comment section on my video. And as always, guys, go ahead and just chat to each other, and get your debates on, and we'll see what you think about this argument. Which one is better? Which one should you choose? Okay, I'm here to compare specifications to tell you about my experiences with the Glock 17. I have not fired the M&P 9, so you're going to say, well, what's the point of this video? Just to throw the specs at you, if you're in the market for a full-size 17+1 capacity handgun, there's a pretty good chance one of these two models are going to be put in front of you. Each model has distinct advantages that I want to mention. I will be doing some test firing of this M&P later on. I've got about 3 or 4 pistols in front of this one that I need to get through first before I get to the M&P test video, but I will. I'll show you what kind of accuracy I'm able to pull off with it and so on. So let's just get to the specs first, okay? The M&P 9, classic model. It's been around for a while now. It's a battle-proven rifle. It's used by law enforcement. It's used by military. There really is no debate that it is a formidable opponent for the Glock 17. Basic specification, 17+1 capacity. No thumb safety on this model. 4.25-inch barrel. You've got an overall length of 7.6 inches. You've got a weight of 28.1 ounces, and I'm assuming that's dry, but we're going to go ahead and run that on my scale over off to the right here in just a minute and see how they compare. Barrel material, stainless steel. Slide material, stainless steel. Guys, I don't know all the technical specs on the M&P 9. Nitron coated finish, maybe? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, Armornite is what they call it. Frame materials of polymer, purpose, home protection, so on. Striker fired gun. You do have an ambi slide release on this particular model. You do have a single, a magazine release to one side, which you can, I believe, reverse for lefties also. So you do have those options. Very flexible all-around pistol. Could you conceal it? Yeah, I think so. I think it'd make a good gun for that sort of an operation. All right, on the left-hand side here, we've got the Glock 17. Trigger pull weight. On the M&P, I'd read on the Smith & Wesson forums, they were saying around 6 pounds. Just so you know, that's how it's going to compare. Obviously, different style of safeties on the trigger, different feel of the trigger, different angle and grip versus the Glock 17. All right, now, on the Glock 17 end over here, we've got a length of 7.95 inches. It's about 1/3 of an inch longer. Height, 5.43 inches. Length between the sides, 6.49 inches. Barrel length, 4.48 inches. So you've got a slightly longer barrel than you do with the M&P. Obviously, it's just a slightly larger model. You can almost compare the M&P 9 to the 19. I think these guns all kind of fit the same range when guys are out looking for a pistol. The same kind of category, full size, semi-compact and so on. Unloaded weight for the Glock 17 is 25.06 ounces. Loaded weight is 32.12. We'll test that unloaded weight to see if Glock's numbers match up with my unofficial IKEA $5 scale. Weight of trigger pull, 5.5 pounds. Barrel rifling, right hand, hexagonal. Length of twist is not actually listed, surprisingly, on Glock's website when you look at the specifications. 17+1 standard capacity. Trigger travel is a 1/2 inch. And so there you go. The basics, 9x19, both of these are 9mm Luger pistols. With the 17, you get Gen 4, you do get different back straps to change the grip and the feel. You can extend out the beaver tail. You can go for a thicker grip or a more curvaceous grip if you want it. You do have an ambi slide release. If you modify the button and move it around, you can do that. You only have a single slide release button on the left-hand side. Did I say safety? I hope not. No safety. I meant to say magazine release if I didn't. So, okay. You can make it not necessarily ambi, but you can reverse them. It's not full-time ambi. Okay, over on your M&P side, you can move the magazine release to the other side, and you do have the ambidextrous slide release. So there are some very good comparisons you can put between the two. Both of these pistols have a plethora of accessories out there, different triggers you can put in them, different sights and so on. You have a lot of different possibilities and options for modifications. So let's just go ahead and just do a quick dry weight on these things and see what we come up with. Okay, by the way, both of these guns have been safety checked, okay? Just so you know. And we'll check out the trigger reset and see how they sound too. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with the M&P 9 and see what the dry weight is. Let's get our unofficial IKEA $5 scale zeroed as much as we can. And here we go. Okay, so unloaded, we're looking at, I'm showing 32 ounces. Okay, 32 ounces. So that's what it's showing with the standard magazines. So 32, if I got that right. No, is that right? 16, let's see, 28, 30, yeah, 32 ounces, 2 pounds. This is pounds on the bottom. So there you go, all right? Now let's go ahead and check out the Glock 17 and see how it compares. I don't know how much this is gonna be on the camera. It should be fairly close, so, and again, get that zeroed. You know, we're gonna be plus or minus a few ounces, I'm sure, when we do this comparison. So, Glock 17, again, safety checked, good to go. Okay. Just a shade under 2 pounds. So we're looking at 1 pound and 12 ounces. Well, not even a shade under. We're at 16, what? 28 ounces? Yeah. So again, it's going to weigh a little bit less, even though it's a slightly larger frame. You might have just a little bit thinner polymer in the frame. I mean, there's a million reasons why you can have a different weight between these two guns. Now, the Glock 17 is the gun that I qualified with. Or no, actually it's not. My wife used the Glock 17 when she qualified for her concealed carry permit. I qualified with the Beretta 92 FS Inox Compact. So, but I have taken my Glock 17 to the range a lot and fired it quite a bit. It's a very easy pistol to fire. It's a large grip. You can definitely get a good purchase on it with 2 hands. You know, it's a great gun. I do keep this as a bedside gun with a TLR1 light on that also for personal protection. I can recommend it if you want a good full-size pistol. You know, I got a lot of other great recommendations I can make. You know, you do have plastic sights up here. You know, I wouldn't recommend it, but you could possibly do a one-hand charge without these breaking off. Your M&P sights, yep, okay, they are metal. Okay, so those are definitely going to hold up. I think you could definitely do a one-handed charge if you had to, if you were injured. Okay, trigger reset. Let's go ahead and take that out. Okay. Okay, it's barely creeps out. I'd say it's maybe, you know, about a half an inch or so. It's fairly close to the Glock. You know, it is a different feel, and the trigger's definitely much more curved, so it is a different feel in the finger. You know, you do have your safety mechanism on there also. Okay, not bad. Okay, now the Glock 17. Okay, I know you can do a little $5 polish job on these, and it definitely helps out with smoothness. Okay, definitely much more distinct. You know, why am I doing this in the video? I don't know. All the other gun guys do, so why not? Here, let's just be cliche. Oh, it's a very crisp break. Very crisp. It's crispy. I like my breaks crisp. There you go. All right, so anyway, just had to say that. Yeah, so which one do you go with? My recommendation to you is that you go to the range and that you rent a Glock 17, okay, if you can, and rent yourself a, epic fail, rent yourself a M&P 9, okay, and take them both out, put about 100 rounds through each one, see which one feels the best in your hand, which one are you most comfortable with, which one can you manipulate the most, the easiest, ergonomics, which one feels the best to you in your hand. You know, when it comes to pistols, it seems like it's about impossible to find that one gun that just absolutely fits your hand like a glove and it's absolutely perfect, but sometimes you have to compromise, so you might not get something exactly as you want it. But both guns do feel good in the hand. Both guns are very comfortable. You do have some slightly more aggressive stippling on the Glock versus the M&P. Not that some talon grip or some stippling of your own couldn't take care of. You know, go to the range, rent both of them, test them both out, see what you think. I really enjoy the Glock 17. Why I never went with an M&P? I don't know. It's a good question for a full-size gun. You know, I went from an M&P Shield. I sold that, and I've told you the history about my compacts before. I did own an SD9 VE, which is, you know, I guess you could say a distant cousin of the M&P. They're both Smith pistols. I did have issues with the SD9 VE. It was a Jam-O-Matic. I ran 3 or 4 different types of ammo through it and just could not get it to go until I replaced it with a steel guide rod and spring combo. I had to buy an aftermarket unit to get it to function, but I did like that pistol. It was a comfortable gun. If I like this, I might consider purchasing one, although I'm fairly happy with the G17 right now. But again, for you, you've got a lot of flexibility with both pistols. It is hard for me to rank one over the other. I guess I would say I like the feel of the trigger on my finger better on the Glock than I do on the M&P, but I do like the feel of the grip of the M&P in my hands better than the Glock 17. So I think it just comes down to which one I could shoot the best, most accurately, and feel most comfortable with. That's pretty much what it comes down to for full-size range guns like this. Heck, one of my favorite range guns was my Ruger 9E, which I ended up selling to a buddy. And that was a great all-around range pistol. I think it was 15 plus 1, 16 plus 1. So I don't know. But yeah, you guys make the call. Take them both out, test them, see what you think. I'll be doing some accuracy testing on this one. I might just go ahead and do one with the Glock 2, with the Glock 17 also. It is getting colder out, guys. I just want to say that right now. So my range visits are going to be a little bit less frequent. I don't mind shooting out in the cold, but it's just not fun to go out there and set everything up and try to function in about 15-degree temperature. Oh, Ammo Cat making her guest appearance as usual. She's just sitting here chilling. She's gunsmith's assistant, I guess you could say. So anyway, guys, there you go. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to give you the vital specifications on the pistol to see what you think. I wanted to tell you what the manufacturers say versus what we found on the scale. Test both guns. See which one you like the most. So let's have a discussion about these two pistols. Heck, buy both of them. I always say that as my resolution in the video. Keep one as a truck gun and keep the other one as a carry gun, or vice versa. And you really can't go wrong either way. What's most important is that you have a pistol or a firearm for self-defense. If you're able to have one, you can legally keep one. Please do. Okay, you definitely need it. You have a right to defend your life. Please use that right. Okay, any gun is better than no gun. Heck, even if it's an inexpensive High Point or Jimenez versus nothing, what would you rather have? Okay, so think about those things. All right, so thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. We're over 400 subs. I just wanted to get this video out quickly, and I'll be doing the Q&A video probably later on this evening. That one's going to take a little bit longer, but thanks for tuning in. Like or subscribe. You can follow me over on Twitter and also on Instagram. You can find me over on gunchannels.com under the Ordinary Average Guy Gun Channel. And I've been lucky enough to be able to join in some of those cool podcasts on YouTube and over on Gun Channel. So you might see me showing up over there on Never Enough Ammo's Guns and Geeks podcast, as well as Nike Strike's Hit or Miss podcast on Tuesday nights. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. All right, it's great talking to you as usual. Have fun with the debate on this one. I recommend you try both of them. And have fun, be safe, guys. I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.